the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Cassie Heiter.
Well, it was a very chilly start this morning. We did end up in the mid and upper 40s for most of us, of course, much better than the past couple of days where temperatures started out in the upper 30s. But we do have a cold front that's moving into parts of northwest Oklahoma, and that should at least bring our temperatures down a couple more degrees by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon. But today, right now, overall, things are nice and quiet. It's cool. It's a little breezy. Of course, you can see that our camera's shaking just a little bit. This is our National Cowboy Museum camera up of our Lucky Star Skycam network. We're at 54 degrees. And right now, that wind is coming in out of the south at 14 miles an hour. We've got low 50s, even low 60s across the north, lots of upper 50s and low 60s across the southern half of the state, with a south wind between about 10 to 20 miles an hour. But you can see where that cold front is behind it. That wind is coming out of the north, gusting to as high as around 35 miles an hour in the panhandle. So this cold front will slowly come through as we go throughout the afternoon. You can see some rain off to the north. That is likely not going to make it into Oklahoma. Sprinkles at best for parts of northeast Oklahoma. So it's going to be a dry front for us. Also very weak. In fact, tomorrow still looks warm. Temperatures will just be a couple of degrees cooler than what we're expecting today. And kind of the same thing as we go throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. It looks warm, temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s, staying dry. But we are monitoring another storm system that should be arriving as we get to about midweek of next week. We're actually going to have a low approach from the west, and we also have some tropical moisture approaching from the south. Those two interacting, and it looks like a really good shot of some rain for at least Wednesday and into Thursday. Now, as we get into Friday, it does look a little bit colder at this point, with temperatures eventually dropping down into the 50s and 60s for highs, and those overnight lows are going to be a little bit more chilly as well. And talking about that tropical moisture that's moving in out of the south, we're talking about Tropical Storm Norma. Now, over the next couple of days, it will become a hurricane, but by the time it does make landfall, especially as the time it gets into Oklahoma, that's no longer obviously going to be the case. We will experience some remnants from that, though. That looks like it should hold together, so we'll see and get a little bit closer as we get closer to that date. We're going to fine-tune it, but it at least looks like a really good chance of rain around here finally. Today, though, certainly not the case. The cold front's going to come through here in the next several hours, but before it does, I still think we reach a high of about 80 degrees. Behind it, that wind's going to shift to the north. Temperatures in the mid and upper 70s across western and northwest Oklahoma. And again, that chance of rain, it's overall going to be very low, and really it's just a chance of sprinkles at best in the far eastern part of the state for this afternoon. Overnight tonight, the cold front's still going to be making its way to the south and east. Temperatures drop back down into the mid and upper 40s for most of us with a lighter wind. But tomorrow afternoon, still a northwest wind, but we still make it into the mid 70s here in Oklahoma City, but the low 80s across the southwest, mid 70s really across the north. And by Friday afternoon, eventually that wind's going to shift back to the south, but it's overall going to be light and temperatures warming up even more, with highs back in the low to even mid 80s. Of course, if you're going to the OU game, it looks perfect weather-wise. Temperatures winding up in the 80s eventually, but next week those temperatures go down with a chance of rain. We'll be right back.